Hey everyone. One of you recently suggested the topic of toxic positivity. And this is a phenomenal topic because it's something that's pretty common nowadays. Thanks to social media, you have a lot of these positive pages on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, where they kind of condition people to always be thinking positive and optimistically, even in moments where that may not actually be helpful. And even society in general kind of can propagate this whole phenomenon because even our friends and our family members may tell us during difficult moments or even traumatic moments for us that we should stay positive, things will get better. But that's not helpful because what we really need in those moments is for someone to just hold space for us, for someone to just listen to us and try to understand how we're feeling. That's what we need. We don't need someone basically ignoring us and just trying to leave the room as quickly as possible because they don't want to deal with our not so great emotions. So they just say, be positive, and then leave as quickly as they can so that they can ignore their own emotions most likely, right? And just keep going on. In fact, if you have friends who do that, you may want to rethink your relationship with them because those are not good friends. The best of friends are going to be willing to hold space for you even when it's not the most comfortable thing to do. They're going to be willing to be there for you even when you're feeling down. They're not going to give into toxic positivity and be like, you're going to be fine, just be positive and stay optimistic. They're not going to do that crap. And especially, don't treat yourself in that same way either. There are times where I almost view toxic positivity as like us gaslighting ourselves, where we try to lie to ourselves about our own reality to make ourselves feel better. But that's not helpful because we know when we're lying to ourselves, right? We're always going to know because we know the truth about ourselves, or we should at least. If you know yourself well enough, you'll always know when you're lying to yourself. This is one of the reasons why I don't really think affirmations are helpful, because if you're affirming things that aren't true and you know they're not true, that doesn't seem helpful to me. That's just basically lying to yourself, where you're like saying, I'm confident every day in front of the mirror, but if you're not actually confident, if you're not doing anything to make yourself become more confident over time, like trying difficult things and so on, then you're just lying to yourself. I don't see any benefit in that kind of crap. I think we should never spew things to ourselves that aren't true. Be real with yourself, even in those moments where it doesn't feel so great. If you know you're not feeling the best, just accept that. Accept it and accept yourself and those emotions and just be real with yourself. Just keep moving on despite that. And even right there, the whole keep moving on thing is almost, that can almost be taken in like a toxic positivity route if you take that to mean like stay optimistic and keep going. But really, the most important thing you can do in life is allow yourself the courage to feel your emotions, to not act on them, and just take things day by day, to just literally keep going in that regard. It's not lying to yourself. Just allow yourself to feel what you're feeling so it can move through you. I think one of the biggest problems with toxic positivity, or should I say one of the biggest causes of it, is the fact that so many people label their emotions as being bad or good. So if they're not feeling great, they're going to label that emotion as being bad or a negative emotion, and that means they're going to try to avoid feeling that way. If we just acknowledge that all of our emotions across the board are normal as hell, because we can't even stop ourselves from feeling them, right? Like, stop yourself from feeling sad in a moment that evokes that emotion out of you. You can't do it. All you can do is control how you react to that emotion once it arises in your body, meaning you can choose not to act on it. That's the important thing. I think that's what we all should strive to do. Feel our emotions, but don't act on them. Because if you allow yourself to do exactly that, nothing bad happens. You can feel sad, you can feel depressed, you can feel melancholy, but if you never act on those emotions, nothing bad happens. You'll just be sitting in those emotions. Sure, it may not be the most comfortable thing on the planet, but nothing bad will happen. So this is why I always suggest people to do this. Because, well, one, it's like the healthiest way of dealing with your emotions, because you have to feel them. If you don't feel them, they don't go away. You have to feel them for them to be released. If you try to suppress or ignore them, you're just burying them until they come back up at a later date. So it's not helpful to do that. So just give yourself the courage to feel everything, every single range of emotion you feel. Label it as normal and just allow yourself to sit in that emotion, but don't act on it. that's how you can deal with feeling sad, depressed, or otherwise bad emotions. And then you're not going to give in to toxic positivity by trying to tell yourself, oh, this sucks, I need to be positive and be optimistic because I don't want to feel these emotions and I should just ignore them and just keep going through my life without dealing with them. Because, yeah, that doesn't do you any favors. So really, that's the most important thing you can do. Train yourself to be able to feel your emotions, to sit in them without judging them and without judging yourself, and then just don't act on your emotions. And that's a big part of toxic positivity, is just the way we handle our emotions. But there is another aspect kind of tied in where toxic positivity can also kind of deal with our own self-image. And we can kind of lie to ourselves about who we are. That kind of ties in with what I said earlier about me not thinking affirmations are super helpful, because that can, in many ways, be a lot like lying to yourself. So yet again here, just be real with yourself. Be real with your own self-image. And if you don't always like what you see, well, don't beat yourself up for it. It's okay. We're all flawed in many different ways. I mean, I know all my flaws, and there are even times where my flaws make me question like why so many people seem to find my videos helpful. But I mean, I truly hope they are. But that is also like imposter syndrome creeping in. But see, we all are dealing with things we know about ourselves, and it's okay. You can accept that and know that it's there and not beat yourself up for it. Just be kind to yourself, even knowing that you still have work to do. Like, you can do both of those things. It's not a one or the other type situation where if you understand that you have work to do, you immediately need to be mean to yourself, be harsh to yourself. It's not helpful. So acknowledge that, yeah, we all have work to do, but you can still be very gentle with yourself. You can still even love yourself as you are with all your flaws and still still aim to become better. So just strive to do that in your own life. Do not lie to yourself. I mean, I've even talked in prior videos about how to develop self-worth, and how there's a practice I used to do years ago that I did so often that I got to know myself so well that that's why I don't do that practice anymore. But if I didn't know myself, yeah, I'd still do it. And it's a practice of asking yourself the question of, who am I? And just sitting in that question. And every time I suggest that practice to others, I always tell them, do not lie to yourself when you're doing it. Just don't. Because you could easily do that. You could be like, I'm confident, I'm smart, I'm fit, I'm ambitious, whatever it may be. But if you're not telling the truth to yourself, if you know that the words you're saying about yourself are lies, that's not helpful. It doesn't do you any favors, because you're going to know that you're just lying to yourself in an attempt to make you feel better. So don't do that. Just have the courage to accept and even give yourself love and be kind to yourself as you are, knowing that you can improve, and feel no need whatsoever to lie to yourself about who you are, because that's just, yeah, it's not helpful. But anyway, guys, I believe I covered everything. Yeah, looks like I did. So that's pretty much all I have for you in this video, and it was a good one. So thank you to the person, you know who you are, who suggested this topic. And guys, let me know what you think of this one, because yeah, it is kind of a bit of an issue in today's world. So I hope what I shared with you in this video is helpful, and above all, just have the courage to just accept your reality as it is, and know that things are fine even if they don't feel great for a tiny bit. It's okay to feel that way, and it's okay to know that you have work to do. You can still always be kind to yourself. So those are really the most important things. Just, yeah. But anyway, I truly hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!